You walk into a coffee shop. For less than a second, someone near the counter glances up at you. That's it. That's the whole event. But by the time you've paid for your drink, your mind has already opened a case file. Did they notice the coffee stain on your sleeve? Did your voice crack when you ordered? Did you look nervous walking in? That person forgot you existed before the espresso machine finished grinding. You, on the other hand, are still thinking about it at 11 p.m., lying in bed, running the tape back one more time. Here's what's strange. This isn't insecurity. It's not about confidence, and it's not a personal flaw. It's a specific mental glitch that runs in nearly every human brain, and once you see the mechanics behind it, it starts to lose its grip on you. Think about the last time you left a family dinner. Maybe you laughed too loud at your cousin's joke. Maybe you brought up a topic, and the table went silent for 2 full seconds before someone changed the subject. That 2-second silence becomes the highlight reel your brain plays on repeat while you're trying to fall asleep. Or maybe it happened at work. You send an email explaining a decision. The reply comes back short. Got it, thanks. No exclamation point. No warmth. Within seconds, your imagination fills in the blanks. They're annoyed. I overstepped. They're bringing this up in the next meeting. Meanwhile, the person who sent that reply has already moved on, thinking about their lunch order, their next call, whether they left the garage door open. This is one of the strangest parts of being human. We walk around assuming we're the main character in everyone else's story, when in reality, we're barely a background extra in most interactions we have during a single day. Picture a busy train platform in any American city. Hundreds of people pass by, and each one is carrying an invisible screenplay in their head. One person is thinking about rent, another is replaying an argument from that morning. Someone else is wondering if they picked the wrong career. You appear in their movie for maybe a second and a half, then the scene changes. But in your own movie, you never leave the screen. That's why it feels like everyone is watching, not because they are, but because you can't step outside your own vantage point long enough to notice theirs. A woman named Maya once described this to her therapist this way: "It's like I'm carrying a courtroom around in my head. Everyone I've ever met is sitting in the jury box, taking notes on me. If the cashier didn't smile, she assumed judgment. If a date paused before texting back, she assumed judgment. Every interaction became one more piece of evidence stacked against her." What Maya didn't know is that psychologists had already studied this exocourtroom and given it a name. It's called the spotlight effect. Cornell researcher Thomas Gilovich ran an infamous experiment where he had college students wear an embarrassing Barry Manilow t-shirt into a room full of their peers. The students guessed that about half the room would notice and remember it. In reality, fewer than 25% did. Some didn't register it at all. The students weren't wrong about their own embarrassment. They were wrong about everyone else's attention span. Your brain makes one specific error here. It confuses how important something feels to you with how visible it actually is to other people. Because your mistake feels enormous on the inside, your brain assumes it must look just as enormous from the outside. But feelings aren't cameras. They don't record what's really happening in the room. They only report what feels urgent from your own narrow angle. There's a second layer hiding underneath this one, called the illusion of transparency. It's the belief that our internal state is obvious to everyone around us. That when we're nervous, it's written across our face, and when our hands shake, everyone at the table clocks it instantly. Study after study shows the opposite. People are far worse at reading us than we assume. Most of what feels painfully obvious inside your head barely registers on anyone else's radar. There's a reason your brain is wired this way. Thousands of years ago, humans lived in small, tightly knit groups where being rejected by the tribe wasn't just uncomfortable. It could mean losing food, shelter, or protection. So evolution built us a built-in alarm system tuned to scan constantly for social danger, like a smoke detector set, a little too sensitive. It would rather trigger 100 false alarms than miss one real threat. That alarm system doesn't know the difference between a hunting party 3,000 years ago and a Tuesday morning at Starbucks. It just fires anyway, treating an awkward pause or an unanswered text like a 5-alarm fire. The feeling that everyone's watching you isn't proof that they are. It's proof that your ancient wiring is doing precisely what it evolved to do. Here's the insight that quietly rearranges everything once it clicks. The amount of energy other people spend thinking about you is roughly equal to the amount of energy you spend thinking about strangers. Try it. Picture someone you passed on the sidewalk yesterday. Can you recall their jacket? Their haircut? Whether they looked stressed or at ease? Probably not. And not because they didn't matter, but because your attention moved on within seconds. The same thing is happening to you, from their side, right now. This doesn't mean nobody ever notices you. The people who love you do pay attention, but that attention comes from connection, not surveillance. The anonymous crowd, coworkers, acquaintances, the guy at the gas station, is too busy running their own internal trial to preside over yours. Maya's therapist gave her one question to ask whenever the spiral started. If the roles were reversed, how long would I actually remember this? The answer was almost always instant. She wouldn't. Not because she was careless, but because that's simply how attention works for everyone, all the time. That question didn't erase her anxiety overnight, but it gave her something more useful than reassurance. It gave her evidence. Evidence that her mind had been treating a possibility as a certainty, and that the courtroom she'd been performing in for years had no judge, no jury, and barely an audience. So the next time you catch yourself replaying a conversation, wondering if someone noticed your voice crack, or your hands shake, or the joke that didn't land, pause for a second. Picture that other person driving home right now, running their own private highlight reel, worrying about their own version of events, which likely has nothing to do with you at all. You were never on trial. There was never a jury. There's just you, doing your best in a room full of people who are, in their own way, doing the exact same thing. Each one quietly, hoping nobody's paying too much attention to them either. And maybe that's the most freeing thought available to you today. Everyone is a little afraid of being watched, which means, in the end, almost no one is really watching at all.